Hi guys, it's Archie Luxury on the Archie Luxury channel. And today, guys, I want to talk about YouTube fame and popularity. And I want to talk about how it can all come crashing down so fast. Now, guys, for those of you who don't know, I actually stream. I run a live stream twice a day on my other channel, the ArchieLuxury live stream channel. I stream in the morning and I stream at night twice a day, every day. Check it out. I'll put a link in one of the corners here, a little question mark. Click on it and it'll bring up the channel. Guys, I have been on YouTube now since 2009 and full time since September 2014, 10 years full time. And in that time there, the thing that really excelled my YouTube earnings and business was, guess what it was, guys? Guess what it was? Guess what it was, guys? Guess what accelerated my YouTube? It was live streaming. And this was particularly the case during COVID. That's correct. That is correct. It was especially true during COVID. And I got to tell you something. During this time, many people were stuck at home. They had free government money and the streaming, and I was talking about wristwatches, expensive luxury watches. I'm wearing a Rolex steel and gold Submariner wristwatch, check complete. Now, during this time here, I've got to tell you, I had many fans and I had many panelists who became really good friends. And I've got to tell you something. The worst type of fan is a fan who is really enthusiastic about you, and then they believe you haven't given them enough attention that they deserve, and they turn into haters. And I've got to tell you something. My experience on YouTube, I've had many haters, and this can be for a number of reasons. The problem is people can relate to your videos and your live streaming, and then they think they will give you some advice. They think their pearls of wisdom are so important for you to have. And if you don't follow their advice, suddenly you're the biggest asshole under the sun. You're the biggest asshole under the sun. And I got to be totally honest with you, it can be brutal that the way somebody you thought was a really good fan, they can turn against you. And I've got to be completely honest with you, it happens in many different ways there. They may disagree with your choices, and YouTube is such a difficult business. You're pushing the envelope for creativity and excitement. And this has led to a lot of bad things happening. Now, I've got to tell you, with the streaming, there's a number of problems. The barriers to entry, all you need is a smartphone, a smartphone, and a Google Gmail address, and off you go. You can start streaming and making videos and making live streams. It's very, very simple. So, in the course of running my own live streaming channel, that's the ArchieLuxury live stream channel, I had a number of so-called friends who befriended me. And guess what? They just used me to build their own YouTube live streaming channel, and then they pumped and dumped me. When I was no use to them anymore, they walked out on me. And time again, I've had people who have pretended to be my friend who've really become real thorns in my side. And it's sad. It's sad that the real friendships are very tricky things to have. I've met some really good friends, Bear, Tan, Mike the Snake, some really good friends, but there's been some horrors as well. People who befriend you to build their own channel, and then as soon as you stop being useful to them, pump and dump. And the problem is, on your YouTube channel, I'm trying to keep, as a live stream channel, I want to try and keep interesting guests coming back and having interesting panelists. You got a churn factor. And unfortunately, you've got some guests who are only seeing what's in it for them. So YouTube fame and popularity, it can be extremely difficult. You also have the situation where nothing is exciting enough. If you go on a tour or you do things, before it used to get views and people would be excited for you. Now they want to push the envelope. Go out there and gonzo. Get out there and gonzo. It's boring. You're in your hotel room. Get out and gonzo. So you try your best to gonzo. You put up with terrible internet, terrible things, and then they just complain that the quality was crap and you didn't do enough for them. The other problem is people try and push the envelope. They want you to do more and more risky things. I mean, they're there to be entertained. Hell have no fury like a punter who is bored. And they push the envelope. They want you to do silly things. They want you to be a bit of an asshole. They want you to film it on a live stream. And unfortunately, in some countries, this may not be acceptable behavior. In fact, you can get into serious trouble. And it's the pursuit to try and get more interesting content, which can lead to terrible things. There have been many instances where people are pushing that envelope, because if they don't push the envelope, they don't get the views. They don't get the views. They don't get the super chats. They don't get the super chats. Well, why do it? How are you going to pay for the travel? How are you going to pay for anything? There's just not enough money in it. So you're constantly pushing this envelope. And if you don't behave like a complete dickhead and make them laugh, you're the biggest asshole in the world. So it's very tough to try and keep this fine line going. It's very tough indeed. And you don't want to be a horrible tourist. You don't want to be disrespectful. You don't want to be somebody who is a real pain in the ass. Now, there's also been the case of YouTubers who have done stupid things. One case is involving a Korean YouTuber who went to Cambodia, and it's quite a terrible situation, because he was jailed for making a video about um he was making a video about the fact that many scams were running in the country. And this situation, sorry, I meant a Taiwanese. The Taiwanese YouTuber was jailed in Cambodia for attempting to stage his own abduction. So he was trying to highlight some of the terrible call centers which were known to exist in Cambodia. But what he did was he completely faked it. And what ended up happening was the men were charged with causing. This is the situation. The YouTuber who goes by the online name Goodnight Chicken, he basically was charged with bringing the country into disrepute, and the government got involved, politicians got involved, and it turned into a absolute shitstorm. And why did he do this? Because he's trying to get views. And it was probably very silly what he did. That can be definitely said to be true. And he basically staged his own abduction, which was a silly thing to do, but it was all staged. And he was charged with incitement to cause chaos to social security. The provincial government said the men produced videos with fake content that affects the honour, order and security of the province. They were handed 2-year sentences in order to pay $2,000. And very, very tough sentence to go to a Cambodian prison. But at the end of the day, the problem is he's trying to push the envelope, the creative envelope. And sometimes people are desperate to get views, super chats, and fame. They do silly things. And before you know it, something terrible like this incident can take place. They didn't think of the consequences. Now, the other terrible thing is there's been many YouTubers who push the boundary. They go to a foreign country and are very disrespectful to statues and landmarks. And why are they doing this? To get notoriety, to get fame. And it's really quite horrendous. So what can be said about this? Well, it's a total disaster. It really is a total disaster. YouTube can be extremely tough. It's a very fickle business. And in order to pursue money, either through views or through super chats, it's a very unclear path. So you're pushing the creative envelope. And if your personality doesn't have some very good safeguards, you can very easily be sucked into doing stupid antics, which can land you in serious trouble. And the reality is, if you get in trouble with the law or any situations like this, people would desert and dump you. They say what an idiot you were to get involved in this. YouTube fame and popularity, it is changing so quickly. It is far faster than television or radio fame or notoriety. This is very fast. It can change within one lousy video or one lousy live stream. And it's very fleeting. I've always myself with celebrity and fame and success, It's always been when I thought this thing would last forever that it comes crashing down. When I was in business and then I started planning out 5-year plans, oh, this will be getting better. And you know what's when you have that arrogance that it can all come crashing. YouTube popularity is on a similar scale. You can get some fame or notoriety or infamy, and then just as quickly as it came in, it can disappear. So I've been blessed to have a bit of fame and popularity in my niche, the luxury wristwatch space, but it can all end super fast. It can end so quickly. And I think the important thing is you don't get sucked into thinking, enjoy it. It is a lovely thing, but it can leave you very quickly. Just be prepared and happy that you at least, it's better to be a has-been than a never was. And YouTube itself, brutal place, brutal market. But hey, it is what it is. And hey guys, what can you say or do about it? So that is the reality. So guys, tell me what you guys think. Guys, YouTube fame and popularity. Sometimes don't wish too hard because it might come true. Guys, I'm ArchieLuxury. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.
Do you mind if I stay for a while? All snuggle up in each other's arms. Do you mind if I stay by your side? Just looking at you all the time to go.